Hey, it's your girl Mac. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. This is Mac Reviews. I'm doing a review of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, episode 2 of season 5. And making sure there isn't glare on my glasses. Let's just take these glasses off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to talk about Colt and Larissa first. So I don't know why Colt and Larissa are on this season. Like, I mean, I know why. I know some of y'all want to see them, but I don't. I I can't stand Colt. I'm not a fan, and I'm pretty indifferent to Larissa. Like, I don't dislike her, but I don't care about her either. Like, I'm really not interested in what she's doing. So yeah. So Colt goes to see his new girlfriend, and in Chicago, she lives in Chicago, and they're spending time together. I guess they smashed, whatever. And I don't really want to talk about them, but I'm sure some of y'all want to hear about them. So yeah, so he visits her, they spend time together, they go on a water taxi, and he tells her that his ex-wife got arrested for domestic violence 3 times, and it was so hurtful and hard for him. And I'm sure that whole situation was hard, but he didn't say I called the police on her 3 times. I had her arrested 3 times. So I don't feel like either one of them were victims in that situation. They both were, did messy, ridiculous things. They were not a good match. So I don't feel like he was a victim or she was a victim. I feel like they were both trifling and crazy. So not trifling, but they were both kind of crazy in that situation when they were together. But he's trying to frame himself as a victim. So anyways, then the girl introduces him to her friends. They're all girls from Brazil as well. I think she said they're also all nannies, au pairs, and they are not feeling called. And I'm like, see, they see right through his BS. Like, I'm like, I like her friends because not I like, but you could tell they're real friends because they were really having her back. They were giving him the business. They were asking the real questions. And I was like, I was here for it. So, and when she wanted to go and hang out with them, Colt was like, no, like, I want you to stay with me. I don't want you to go. Now, let me say this. I do not like Colt. However, I do understand him wanting her to spend time with him because that's true. He did come there to hang out with her, and she can hang out with her friends anytime, but he's not going to be there that long. So I actually did understand why he wanted her to stay with him. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying to somebody, hey, I would like you to spend time with me. Can you please, or can you not go out with your friends? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, you can't force somebody to do anything. And if they're saying, hey, I want to go out, you got to let them be an adult and do what they want to do. Not only that, she didn't want to stay with him. So I know personally, I'd rather the person want to stay with me. If they don't want to stay with me, then I'd rather you go about your business. I'd rather you go with your friends and enjoy yourself than do something that you don't want to do. So yeah. So that was that. Whatever. Now Larissa, ain't nothing happened with her. She was pole dancing. She said, "Oh, maybe she should be a stripper." And I was like, "I mean, you could get paid. It looks like she'd be comfortable with that." So I mean, I don't know if she was joking or serious. If she was serious, might as well. I mean, you probably don't have to worry about them doing no what you call it, I-9, the background check they do when you're when you get a job. Like, they don't care. Maybe she should, although being a stripper does require actual, like, you got to know what you're doing on the pole. So anyways, like, she doesn't have to do that. She has a father that sent her $5,000, so she ain't got to work. Anyways, so, and she's complaining about how she needs a man or whatever. That was it. So next, so glad to go to the next couple. Next, I'm going to talk about Andre and Livy. Let me get them out of the way too, because they're getting on my last nerve. So Livy, um, she's talking to her sister. She's trying to convince them to come to Moldova, or she's trying to find out if they'd be willing to. One of her sisters, excuse me, said Moldova is the scariest place on earth. And I don't know if the producers told her to say that. I don't know if that was a joke. And not because, well, I've been to Moldova and I know so much about Moldova, but such a statement was so ridiculous. And I was like, did she hear herself? Like, that's why I wasn't sure if she was trying to be funny. Like, girl, I mean, it was stupid. It was stupid. But and even if Moldova is dangerous, like what? I mean, you got play anyways. So, but I do understand what they're saying about the late notice, and even one of the other sisters was like, it seems like he did it on purpose because he didn't want us to come, and he kind of did. He did, and he admitted that. He was like, oh. My parents weren't able to come to our wedding here, so maybe it's karma or whatever. And I was like, this dude, I understand that he doesn't like them and they don't like him, but that's really petty. Like that's childish, that's childish. And it was petty. I could see he did do it on purpose. So I do understand the sisters feeling like, hey, we can't really come. That's difficult. I think that Livy should have, I don't understand why she doesn't put her foot down with him. Like, she'll challenge him, but then she'll still submit to whatever he wants, even if it's not what she wants, even if it is difficult for her. And I don't see that as compromise. That's not compromise. That's just like in marriage, you have to compromise. There's give and take, but in their situation, there doesn't seem to be much give and take. It's just whatever decision he makes by himself is what goes. Like, he doesn't consider what she wants or her perspective or reality. Sometimes what's logical and reasonable, it seems like, but I don't know. I'm not in their marriage. I don't know how they make other decisions. So I can't say that all the way for sure because I don't know. But I don't like Andre, whatever. I'm pronouncing his name wrong on purpose. But anyways, so she does end up asking her father. I had to fast forward through it because I was like, listen, this is boring. We done seen this before. It's boring. She turned on those fake tears to manipulate her father into giving her the money. It must be nice, to use those little, crocodile tears to be able to get your father to take care of you. I mean, it must be nice to be an adult and not have to like actually work for your own money. Like, it must be nice to be an adult and still be taken care of by your parents and not really have to be really financially responsible for yourself and your family. Like, that must be nice. Like, I mean, it must be convenient to have your parent just take care of you forever. Like, I mean, as a woman, it's interesting to me because I don't understand how Livy respects Andre, but she goes back, she tells him that her father agreed, and he's like, oh, I knew it. I knew he would agree. How much did he say? 50 grand, 20 grand, 6? And I was like, sir, like, you. And she even said it. She was like, he was acting entitled. And I'm like, you don't have a job. Like, how? I do not know how she does it. I could not respect a man who doesn't work and then is okay. He can't even ask her father for the money himself. Like, he's not even man enough to go to him himself. I mean, he knows that the guy would have said no to him. So, but yeah, bum-like tendencies. He does bum-like tendencies. Like, I really think that Andre, whatever, that he was looking for an American woman with money so that he could come here and be and not work. Like, women from that part of the world do it all the time. Our current first lady is one of them, and there are many other women from Eastern Europe who do that. These countries, some of them are poor. There's not a lot of opportunities for social mobility, education, skills, and so some of them want to come here and work and build themselves up, but some don't. And so just like you have female gold diggers, you have male gold diggers and opportunists, and I think he might be one of them. The fact that as a man, he is okay with not working to take care of his wife and children, he doesn't feel that obligation. That definitely makes me question his masculinity. What kind of man has a wife and daughter and doesn't want to work to take care of them, and is okay leaning on another man to take care of him and his children and his wife? I mean, I don't know. And then he makes decisions unilaterally, doesn't consult her, doesn't consider her feelings, bulldozes her when she's challenging him. And I'm just like, how does she respect him? Like, I don't know. I couldn't respect a man like that. So let's move on to Angela and Michael. So Angela goes to see a gynecologist. She tells her what's going on. The gynecologist is alarmed to hear that she's bleeding at her age, and she says, let's do an ultrasound. She doesn't see an egg, but she said that whatever the fertility specialist in Nigeria saw might have been a cyst. It wasn't a cyst, but they want to do I think they call it a endometrial biopsy, because they want to see what's going on with the bleeding, what's causing the bleeding, because that's not normal for someone who is her age, who's menopausal, and see if maybe she might have cancer. And I was like, wow, that's sobering, Angela. And apparently her mom has had cancer 5 times. So I'm like, that could be hereditary. Did she tell the gynecologist that? So now the gynecologist says, you can't have a baby on your own. But you could through IVF. But that's only if everything's okay with your uterus. She said it's enlarged from fibroids. So Angela said she was devastated to find out she can't give birth naturally. And I was like, but you already knew that. So you already knew you couldn't give birth naturally. So yeah, and she talks to her mom. She tells her, I'm going to go to Nigeria to marry Michael. I want your blessing. And her mom was like, listen, let me tell you something. I did not think this woman was about to actually go over there and marry that man. Okay, she was like, I did not believe it. But since she gonna do it anyways, I can't stop her. I can't control her. So I'm gonna just give her that blessing for that reason. Okay, her mother kept it all the way 100. And so she gave her blessing. And Angela is really concerned about leaving her mother, that she might pass while she's gone. And for the first time, I felt a little bad for Angela, because I understand that. I've actually been there in a situation where I had to leave a sick. But I understand how she was feeling, and it kind of made me tear up a little, which I could not believe, because Angela is not the greatest chick. She's definitely good, makes great TV though. But this series, her segment this time was very serious and sobering. So it wasn't her usual craziness. Now let me talk about Kaylani and Asuelu, because Asuelu is another one who's on my nerves. First, Colt and Larissa, I don't care. Andre and Libby getting on my last nerve. Next, Kaylani and Asuelu just annoy me. Asuelu does some romantic things. Kalani had asked him, I don't know if it's Kalani or Kaylani, had asked him to make some more effort for them to go on dates and spend time together. And so he brought her flowers. He said some corny stuff, and he took them on to an axe throwing thing. I mean, I don't think he knows what romance is, but you know what? He made an effort, so he tried. So then he brings up to her that he wants to go to Samoa to visit their family. I forgot they showed him playing volleyball with his Samoan friends. Now he's talking to them, and he said something like, you can take the man out of the island, but you can't take the island out of the man. And he's telling them about how Kehlani wants him to help more and do romantic things. And these friends, they're just like, okay, like they're not even saying to him, hey man, I mean, you're married, you're a husband. So I don't know if any of them are married. I don't know if they, none of them tried to like set him straight and say, hey, you're married. Like, what do you, but I don't know. I couldn't tell what their opinions were about him not really taking responsibility for his family. Anyways, so he tells her that he wants to visit his family in Samoa, and she's like, we need to have enough money to pay our bills. That's like $3,000 for the tickets alone. I'm like, what? So, and they're saying, oh, she doesn't have a job, but he's working this part-time job, and I'm like, and where's the money coming from? And then they have to bring gifts to his family and all of this, and they have to stay in a hotel. And I think this is another situation like Andre and Libby. They're just not telling us. Like Andre and Libby, because and her father are willing to be open about the fact that he takes care of them. But I don't think Kalani's parents are open to the fact, are as open about disclosing that. But I think the fact, first of all, the house they're living in is owned by her parents. That's why they moved in. They bought that house. They own that house. I think that whatever money they have is Kalani's trust fund or whatever. They're living off. I mean, they're living in her parents' house. They may not be paying bills. I don't know if they're paying the bills, or maybe they are paying the utilities and her parents are paying the mortgage. I don't know, but her parents are helping her financially, and so I think that's what it is. Like they don't have money for themselves, but she's probably living off her parents' money. They probably give her money every month, or she has a trust fund or something like that. So, but like my problem with Asuelu right now is that I don't know if he sincerely was taking her out because he wanted to do the romantic thing for her, or if he just did it to get her to agree to go to Samoa. Even though she didn't agree, she just said, okay, we'll consider it, we'll see. But I don't know. Asuelu doesn't seem to understand or want the responsibility of being a father and a spouse. And that's understandable. Most 22, 23-year-old men don't want, not men, boys, they don't want to be husbands and fathers, and most of the time they're not. So it's understandable that at his age, he doesn't really want that responsibility. But the problem is you are now a husband and a father. And so you can't just neglect your family, and you have to put them first. I don't think he understands that his family has to come first. And I don't think Kalani wanted him not to do volleyball. I just think she was saying, put us first, come home, spend time with your kids, spend time with me, help with the responsibility of the house, and then go play with your friends. Don't go play with your friends first. Your friends can't come first. You can't put yourself first when you're a spouse and a parent. And he doesn't understand that, and he doesn't want that. So, I mean, I don't think there's any way to make him do that. He seems very childlike. And so I think that he's probably going to end up going back to Samoa, and she might end up a single mother. And it's a shame, but, you have to be careful who you sleep with, but she got pregnant on accident, like much like Devin, you know, this is what happens when you don't plan. So, and you just get, whatever. So Asuelu's working on my nerve, he's working on my nerve. So now let's talk about Sinjin and Tanya. I ain't want to see them either. Tanya, yeah. So I'm not excited to see them at all. So Tanya got into a car accident. She broke her toe, I think. So she has a boot on. So she's recovering from that. So she had to stop working as a bartender. Sinjin doesn't have a job, so he's looking for work also as a bartender. He probably was able to get that easy as long as I think you have to get a license. And they make good money. So, he I don't see him having a problem doing that. Um, they are moving out of the shed, or they moved out of the shed. They got their own place. Apparently, they're paying for it on her savings, even though both of them are not working. But he's gonna have to get a job because once her savings run out, means she can't work until her toe is fully healed. He had wanted to move out of Connecticut and move south, but her getting into the accident threw a wrench in that. So they have to wait until she recovers. So they go to see her sister, the sister who, don't like her, and she don't like her either, but I guess they're at peace right now. And it's not funny. Why am I laughing? I'm laughing because I'm like, but so they're just telling her about the situation, that he's looking for a job, and Tanya starts going on about how she's concerned about him working at a bar because he used to be really wild when he was a bartender in South Africa. He would drink with his customers, which I haven't really been to that many bars in the US, but I'm assuming that bartenders don't usually drink with their customers in the US. They can't be inebriated while working. So he's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to be wild. And she's just concerned about him coming home drunk and stuff. And, the producers asked her, is that a red flag? And she was like, yes. And I'm like, okay, first of all, why are you talking about this in front of your sister? Like, this sister doesn't even like you. Like she's not the person to talk to. But even if you did want to talk to her about it, why are you talking to her? I mean, not to say, like, I don't know. She kind of started something in front of her sister, and I just don't know if that was the best idea. The sister was like, oh, I'm not surprised that she started something, but I do hope he keeps to his word, because Sinjin's saying, hey, I'm going to be tame. I'm going to keep it together. It's a different situation now. And, he did say he feels hurt that she doesn't trust him or take him seriously when he says what he says, because she's still really concerned. Now, when she said it's a red flag, I was like, that's a red flag? You knew this about him from when you met him, because she met him at the bar. She met him when he was working. She knew this about him already. So I'm trying to understand how this not brought up beforehand? Like, if this was a red flag before, why didn't you talk to him about this before? Maybe she did. Maybe it just wasn't on camera. Now, I think a bigger red flag is when you ask someone, hey, do you believe this person could be your soulmate? And you say no, somebody else's. That's a red flag. So anyways, I mean, that whole scene was uncomfortable to watch. So, I don't know what to say about them. I really wonder if they're still together. And I don't know. I guess I hope it works out. We'll see what happens. But so that was episode 2 of season 5. I don't know why I thought we were going to get introduced to another couple. I think that's on 90 Day the Other Way. But the men on both of these seasons are getting on my nerves. Mostly Asuelo and Andre. But just the only dude I'm straight with is Michael and Sinjin. They all right, but these other dudes, like, they don't want to work. They don't want to take care of their kids. Like, I don't know how these women are doing it. Like, I really don't. But yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Mac Reviews, and Instagram soon to come, Facebook group soon to come. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good night, bye, or afternoon or morning, whatever time you're watching this.